Good morning, everybody. Even though I'm taping on Thursday, this is Friday's lesson. I hope you remember your assignment that you had to do for social studies. This is probably one of the last assignments you have, and it's to make a comparison of Jamestown Colony in Virginia with the Plymouth Colony in Massachusetts. I want you to tell me the location of both colonies, why settlers came. They had different reasons. If you're not sure, go back and look. And who were the Indians that were involved with them. Some, in the case of a little bit of war, and the other set of Indians who helped. I'm not going to tell you. You should be able to figure it out. All right, before we start, let's bow our heads, close our eyes, fold our hands. Dear Jesus, we come to you at the end of this week. We thank you for all the work these boys and girls have been turning in. I'm really very, very proud of them. And I hope their parents are too. And I'm proud of the parents also, because without your support, this could not have taken place. I'm sure that your children have been learning and increasing in knowledge. We pray for their continued health and have a blessed weekend. Enjoy your family. Do whatever you can, but have safe distance between you and others that you may come in contact. Enjoy yourselves, and may God bless each and every one of you. Amen. Boys and girls, I've got something exciting to tell you. We are almost finished with reading 1E. I was afraid that we weren't even going to finish, but today we're going to be reading our last story in the book and our last poem, if I get a chance. And next week, on Monday, try to find your reading 1F. I'm sure all of you must have this book, because if you picked up this one, the F book came along, and maybe we can get through some of the stories in here. This is entitled Treasures to Keep, and it's all about treasure hunts and different activities involving the past and looking for lasting treasure. There are some Bible stories in here, as well as stories about children's experiences with treasure hunting. So make sure you have this for Monday's lesson. Okay, today's lesson is going to be The Singing Fence. And it is a story about a grandfather and his daughter. And he's trying to teach her how to listen for the sounds. Now, we have had in science and also in this book about how we listen to music and we listen to nature, and we sing praises to God. But we have here grandfather, whose name is Kai, K-A-I. Now, he is from another country, even though he lives here, but he is from Indonesia. Indonesia is a country that's off the country of China. So it's on the Asian continent. And they do live in America, because you know we have many nationalities. We have Indonesians, we have Pakistanians, we have Indians from India, we have Chinese from China. And they live here in the United States. And the little girl's name is Maya. We know that Maya is a name that we also use here, and we have somebody in kindergarten whose name is Maya. And we're going to be looking at the grandfather and how he builds a singing fence. Does everybody know what bamboo is? Well, bamboo is a type of tree. It's very long and slender, and we'll see pictures of it, and it's kind of empty, hollow inside. It's not filled with bark and heavy materials. I don't know what we call the inside of a tree, but it's hollow, meaning it's an open spaces, and it's very, very light. people use it to make furniture for the patio. And sometimes they use it to make window blinds. I have even seen bamboo being made into sheets for your bed because it can be the fibers can be broken down from the tree. Paper is sometimes made from the bamboo, and of course fishing poles. We're going to find out what this grandfather did in order to help his granddaughter understand that she needs to listen and listen for the sounds around her. And we're going to be looking at some of our words, which are again, bin, eyes, front, push, and there. These are words that you are familiar with. You've read them over and over again. So we're going to turn to the first page of the story, and we see that Grandpa Kai and Maya are in a truck. We're on page 116. And the title of the chapter is called Bamboo Poles. What does bamboo poles have to do with the singing fence? Strange, isn't it? Okay, so we're going to see what happens on this first page. Apparently Maya and her grandpa really get along because she has the car door open and she asks her grandfather what? Look at the question that she asks him. There's a question mark. And she's asking him, may I go too? Grandfather, Maya asks. And what does he say? Does he say, no, I don't want you to go? He says yes. And what does he call her? Look at that, the end of that sentence, a very short page. He calls her Little Butterfly. Little Butterfly. So apparently she loves her grandpa, otherwise she wouldn't want to go with him. But now let's turn the page and find out what kind of a truck does Grandpa have? Let's look. This is one of our vocabulary words. Let's see if you could figure it out. It begins with a B, and the first part of the word, the first three letters are very easy to figure out. Bat. Battered. What does battered mean? It's a battered pickup truck. Battered, okay, it means beat up. That this is not a new truck. And what is a pickup truck? Pickup truck is used to pick up things. You see it has the open bed in the back on page 116 where you would put things in. If you were a plumber, you'd put your pipes in there. If you were a construction worker, you might put your bricks and cement and what other materials you need. Okay, now how does she get into the car? Does she jump in? Does she slide herself in? No, she scrambled in. And then finally, she's asking, where are we going? Okay, so what does he answer her? Let's look at the next paragraph. He says he's going to get some bamboo from Green Willow Creek. So apparently there is a little creek, which is like a little stream, a small body of water, where bamboo trees grow. Now, I know that it's a different part of the United States. I don't think we have bamboo growing here in South Florida. We could check it, but maybe this is someplace in Southern California or some of the southern states. We're going to look it up. Okay, I stand corrected. Pam looked it up on her little phone, and we can see that we do have bamboo starting all the way in from New Jersey all the way down to Florida and all the way to Texas. I didn't know that. I thought that it would be strictly a southern state, you know, maybe Arizona, but we have it here on the eastern part of the United States too. And I wish, Louie, would you stop barking? The children can't hear me. Okay. Maya asked her grandfather if they're going to go fishing. because remember, they use bamboo poles to fish. And what does her grandfather answer her? Start reading. What does he respond? What is his response? He says, no, not today. And what happens to his eyes? That word is twinkled. Twinkle, like stars. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. So his eyes are twinkling with amusement. Amusement is with, being funny, being amusing, happy. And then what does he ask her? He says, but if you can listen, you can hear the sound of crickets eating. Now, can you hear a cricket eating? I don't think so. Sometimes you could hear other people eating at lunch, but crickets eating? I don't think so. But notice how the grandfather is trying to teach her how to use her ears. He's getting her ready for something. All right, so Maya, being an obedient granddaughter, listens. She wanted to hear crickets eating, but she couldn't hear anything. So what else does she ask her grandfather? Because she's curious. We're not going to go fishing. Why do you need bamboo poles? And she questions and says, are you making bamboo tables? Remember I told you that bamboo is used to make furniture? And how does the grandfather answer her? Read it. Okay, he says no. But then he wants to know, if you listen, can you hear the sound of bees sipping nectar? Now, it's easy enough to hear a bee when it buzzes around you. But bees sipping the nectar from a flower? That's not a sound that you can hear. Now, what does Maya do? She listens, but can she hear it? She tries, but she can't be silent anymore. So let's turn the page and find out, what is all of this leading up to? All right, now we're on page 118. And look at what the grandfather is doing. Now, those are bamboo trees. Notice how skinny the trunks are. Remember, they're hollow, they're not solid. Okay, then, she's asking him, then why do we need bamboo from Green Willow Creek? How does the father answer her? Just because. Sometimes you ask your parents, why do I have to go to bed? Just because. Just because they say so. Why do I have to brush my teeth? Just because I say so. We question. So she's questioning. And now the grandfather asks her or tells her again, if you listen, what could you hear? What is the third possibility of hearing something unusual? The sound of rabbits twitching their noses. Can you hear that? I don't think so. But Maya stops and she listens. This is the third time she's listened, and she doesn't hear anything. So she doesn't speak again. All right, let's turn to the next page. Oh, look what she's doing. She's crossing the creek, and she's got a bamboo stick in her hand helping her to balance. Okay, so we see that grandfather Kai has cut the long, tall bamboo poles, and what I just said, she's balancing herself as she tiptoed across the log. She used one of the poles to push herself up in the air, and one by one she put them in the back of the pickup, so she's helping her grandpa. All right, what does the grandfather say now? He says, okay, you've done fine. You've been a big help. I guess he's got enough bamboo poles. But she's wondering, what have I been helping you to do? And Grandpa says, what? He says, you will see. Now remember, you are supposed to be reading this. I'm summarizing it for you and helping you out, but you must read these words. So please make sure you're reading. Okay? Because you can have the pausing time to read. And now the next chapter is called One by One. All right, we'll stop here. What I would like you to do is to do the workbook page 137. And then next week we'll finish the story and we'll read a cute little poem. In fact, I'd like to read the poem to you today, even though we haven't finished this. No, we'll wait till Monday. Okay, because I'm very excited that we're going to be reading the F book. Okay, so please go over the reading. Make sure you could read those words that we had: twinkled and balance and crickets and battered. Okay, so we are finished with our reading lesson for today.